discuss arrangements. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I like the talk situation that you keep.
You best believe we're gonna do that.
You gotta have that conversation. Open lines of
we got
communication.
to talk.
You gotta talk
Yeah.
first.
Definitely has to be a conversation, regardless of what the dynamic is.
Yeah, shoot a shot. Just see if you want to know.
Definitely has to be a conversation first and foremost before anything.
I see you going somewhere.
Nah, man, we gonna jump. I'm gonna jump off the unicorn stuff because I feel like for the sanctity of who we are, and where we are, what we are, and what we do, we better leave that conversation alone.
Leave that
I'm gonna take it to another thing. We get a little bit more serious. Like I went to Walgreens, Walmart, Kroger, Publix. Today is what, like January 13th?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
14th now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see not one Martin Luther King thing in any of those stores.
Now, when you say Martin Luther King thing, what are we looking for?
No
apparel.
There's no Martin Luther King apparel.
Okay.
There's no Martin Luther King birthday celebrations. There's none of that.
Did you see George Washington in that?
I did not. But
okay, go ahead.
Wait a minute. I did not see any MLK stuff. And then in my mind, I said, well, February is next month. The marketing world likes to get ahead of things. And I look for Black History slogans. I look for Black History paraphernalia. I just look for anything Black History. But the only thing I could find in any of these stores was chocolates and hearts and Valentine's Day gifts. Like, as a society that we say, and we're all Black men here. We are important. We are gifted, talented, whatever we are. And MLK supposedly set the way for things to happen for us. Why is there no celebration? Why is there no recognition other than your proverbial MLK Day parade? You know what I'm saying? Why is Valentine's Day more important than MLK Day, more important than Black History Month as a whole? Why?
That's a great point. Great question. And I'm going to state the obvious. Because others don't care about that. Because the others don't really view that as something that was a monumental point in life, because it wasn't for their life. It was for ours. For everybody of color. It was monumental for us, not for them.
I have an opinion.
And I say this because when you look at it, like you said, you went to the Walmarts, you went to the Targets, and you seen Valentine's Day stuff. Does your job celebrate MLK Day? In your profession, does your job say, hey, you know what? It's MLK Day on Monday. Take the day off with pay. I don't expect you to be here. Does your job do that?
So,
and 9 times out of 10, it's a no.
Yeah, they don't recognize that day.
No.
But does your job recognize that?
My job will play a video for the people we serve.
Okay.
You know, maybe an hour, maybe even 2 hours.
I'll take that.
But for the Black employees that we have, it ain't said to not come or come.
Yeah.
You know, so I take it upon myself on MLK Day from this year forward. It's a vacation day for me.
Okay.
So I feel like
do you have to notify your boss in advance for that?
I tell her I'm taking a vacation day on this day.
Okay. So then to answer my question, it's not recognized. It's not recognized.
It's not recognized by them.
Right.
However, my real question is it freaking recognized by us? How many of us just said, hey, I'm not working MLK Day?
Well, it's funny that you say that.
Thank you.
All right, so I live in Tennessee. I'm here in Atlanta during this weekend because today I went to the Martin Luther King Historical Center here in Atlanta, and I visited the museum there, the National Museum, and I visited the what's it called, the Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Okay.
They mad because they only open for certain hours. So I didn't get a chance to get in the inside, but I took photos outside.
Yeah.
Right.
In honor of Martin Luther King. And the main reason why I came down here, because my son's school, Halloween came, they had all this stuff decorated for Halloween.
Right.
And a couple weeks ago, I asked my son, I was like, hey, what did they talk about Martin Luther King in school? They ain't talking about nothing with Martin Luther King. My son is 9 years old,
Okay.
third grade. They ain't talking about Martin Luther King
Nothing.
at all in his class. He come home, he can tell us all about Santa Claus,
Yeah.
which we don't do Santa Claus in my household.
Okay.
All right, we don't do Christmas trees and any of that in my household,
Gotcha.
and we don't celebrate Halloween. So when all the kids go to the Halloween and bring their little Halloween costumes and everything, my son didn't wear a costume.
Okay. No.
It's not Christ centered.
Yeah.
So when they do all that stuff for Halloween, all that stuff for Christmas, but they don't do anything for Martin Luther King, it kind of raised red flags.
Yeah. Right.
So thank God I have my wife, and she was like, hey, we're going to go to Atlanta, where we at right now.
Since we're here.
Yeah.
Right.
For the Martin Luther King weekend. And that's why we're here right now, because my 9-year-old son didn't get anything, but guess what? My 6-year-old in kindergarten, he was coming home talking about Martin Luther King. So the kindergarten teacher was on it. Third grade teacher wasn't.
Was not.
So was one of them black and one was white?
No, they both white.
Which one's pro-black then? Or
one is just doing his job.
Doing their job.
Doing their job.
Okay.
Exactly. One is just doing their job.
Thank you.
Celebrating the federal holiday, as it should be. And he's teaching the kindergartners what Martin Luther King did. My son, 6 years old, come on, like, yeah, Martin Luther King, he's a leader. He's a hero.
Now, I'm going to jump in on this. Sorry to interrupt. I'm going to jump in on this. I work for the transportation industry. All right. I'm a truck driver. All right. So I don't work. I don't get paid. I took the day off. I took MLK day off. All right. And my job understood that. Hey, they didn't force me. Look here. They didn't say any pushback. You want to come to work? Nah, I'm taking this day off. Whatever needs to be transported, they'll figure it out.
They will.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay it'll sit until Tuesday when I get there. And I crank my truck up.
See, my point is, like, when we start as a people, start recognizing these days and looking past the importance of what we think money is, we will start to make a difference. Because my job, the people that the lower level people, as many of us are at my job, that work to make sure everything works and is satisfied. Yeah. If we think to ourselves, hey, we're not coming to work on Martin Luther King birthday, that would be such an impact to the whole. Something will have to change.
Yes.
You know, however, you find a lot of lower level employees that make, what's the minimum wage now? Like $10, $8, $10?
So it's 12. Yeah, I want to say it's like 10, 11.
I don't know what it is.
Still not enough.
I don't know what it is. However, let's say it's $80 you make for that day.
Are we going by in North Carolina or Georgia? Minimum. Okay, I'm going to find out what minimum wage is.
$7.25, I think.
Okay.
So we'll say you make $60 for that day. For one day in a month, you take off. If you don't blow $60 that month, you just say what was really important to you as the day of Martin Luther King birthday and that celebration. But the real thing is, as my man takes his naps like normal, real thing is, the real thing is, how many of us are going to respect ourselves and what the day and who he was for a people to say, hey, it's important for us not to work this day.
And the minimum wage is $7.25.
$7.25, right. So you do 8 times 7, what's that? 40, 48, 56. $56. Bottle of tequila costs $22.